Idaho Matters podcast is brought to you by St. Luke's On-Demand Virtual Care, which allows patients to see a provider from their home using a computer or smartphone with on-demand care for common ailments such as a cough, sore throat, or a sinus issue. More information at stlukesonline.org.
Hey, podcast listeners, want to stay informed without the daily email overload? Sign up for our free weekly newsletter. Every Tuesday morning, we bring you the top local stories, plus highlights from Idaho Matters and the Mountain West News Bureau, all in one easy read. Stay in the know without the clutter. Subscribe now at boisestatepublicradio.org.
More Idaho Matters now from the studios of Boise State Public Radio News. I'm Gemma Cadet. Next week, the Boise Bicycle Project is rolling into the holiday season with their biggest giveaway to date. On December 13th, they'll be handing out more than 600 bicycles, all of them dreamed up by children across the Treasure Valley. And in order to make this happen, the nonprofit needs a little extra help, which is why they're looking to the community for some support, whether that's donating a bicycle or volunteering your time or choosing to sponsor a dream bike. And before we get started, we should note that the Boise Bicycle Project was one of our Giving Tuesday winners. So they were one of 122 organizations nominated for doing inspiring work in our community. So they will be receiving $1,000 in on-air messaging to help spread the word. Joining us today is Devin McComas, the executive director of the Boise Bicycle Project. Devin, nice to have you back on the show.
Hey, thanks for having us, and we're very excited about winning that award. We love y'all.
Well, we appreciate that. So, Devin, this year's giveaway is the largest in BPP history. So what does that surge in demand tell you about our community's needs right now?
Yeah, so this year we actually have 650 kids and families signed up. And that's really pushing the capacity of our event. We actually have a waiting list of kids that we will definitely serve in January, but we don't think we can serve them at the event. And what we're seeing is it's sort of like a sum total of what we've been seeing all year, where families in our community have been experiencing federal furloughs, SNAP benefit cuts. If you're in refugee resettlement, less support there. And I think we're seeing the sum total of those effects to our community with that increased number of people signed up for our giveaway.
And you're giving away, as I mentioned, 641 dream bikes. So walk us through how a child's drawing becomes a fully customized bike.
Yeah, and actually it's 650 to date. We had a couple siblings in there we couldn't.
Oh, okay.
50 is our hard number now. We have a huge referral group of teachers and counselors and social workers who are out there in the community doing that frontline work, who know the kids and families for whom a bicycle is going to make a huge difference. They help to sign up those kids and families. We get a measurement of their height. And then for us, the most important part, we ask them, what does that bike look like? What are you dreaming of if you haven't had a bicycle before? And those kids, in doing so, they draw a picture of their dream bike. They write a short blurb about it. And then beyond building the bike, we have a huge group of volunteers. It's starting today, actually. We have 15 volunteers in our warehouse decorating the bikes to match those drawings.
Okay, so am I correct in the fact that you are about to donate your 15,000th bicycle this year?
Yeah. This event, we will give out our 15,000th bicycle to the community. And Gemma, what I think is really important about that, I think the 650 number is really important to express that we're seeing a community who needs support, needs other community members to show up. But what's also really important to us, and I think what gives me so much faith in our community, is that 15,000 number. Every single one of those bikes has so many hands on it to get us there. And it really demonstrates the generosity of our community, the community mindedness of people who are showing up in service of other people. And it gives us faith to say, this is our biggest one yet. It's a little bit of a stretch for our capacity, but we know the community can show up and support.
So Devin, how have the economic challenges of this last year, I mean, we're talking like funding cuts, reduced benefits, impacted the families that you serve at BPP?
Yeah, we try and be an inclusive organization that makes sure that bikes are accessible to all people. And so, we serve a really diverse group of people in the Boise, Treasure Valley, Idaho area. So, there's a huge amount of people who have been very affected, whether that's people who have that impact from SNAP benefits, and we're working with people in a lower income bracket, working with people from the refugee community who are seeing their family maybe not united, who are seeing some of those benefits severed, working with people who are formerly incarcerated, who aren't coming out to a state or a community where they have enough support. And so for us, we're seeing it in almost every aspect of our programming.
So Devin, for folks who may not know this, what kinds of wraparound services are offered during the holiday Kids Bike giveaway?
Yeah. And so for us, the other important part is like, sometimes I'll say it's all about a bicycle and it's not about a bicycle at all. Like we believe in the
Mm.
opportunity and the joy and the freedom that a bicycle provides. And we also deeply believe in the community that gathers around these events and these bicycles. So if we can get a family down to our shop, it's on December 13th. We'll close down the roadway in front. We'll have 650 kids and families come. They come, they join us in sort of a celebration of the bicycle. And along the way, we have partnerships where we have warm clothes for kids and families, where we have people baking homemade cookies, where we have a station for a family photo that's a luxury some families don't have, and where we have a take-home food pantry. And all of that is to say that people are welcome in our community and that we have enough to support our community. So when we get them down here, it's all about the bike. And then it's also about making sure that they know that we have an inclusive community where there is support for them.
So you just mentioned that you have volunteers at the warehouse right now as we
Yep.
speak, getting these bicycles ready. You still need some help though. So because this is happening on the 13th, this
Mhm.
giveaway. So what types of donations or even like volunteer roles are really
Yeah.
most urgently needed in this next week? I mean, to make sure that
Mhm.
you get all of those 651 bikes out the door.
We have basically a three-prong ask happening. The first of which is like we always love when people come volunteer with us. And I just want to be really clear. There's so many ways to volunteer with us that aren't just fixing a bike. If that's not someone's interest, if you love to fix a bike, come on down. We have volunteer nights that are open.
Mhm.
You can see it all on our website. But we also have folks who are knitting hats and scarves. We have folks who are making cookies for the event. We have folks who are working as translators or calling families at home to make sure that they know that they're welcome and when they can come to the event. So the volunteer is the first ask. The second ask is a gently used kids bike. In the next week, preferably this weekend, if we could get a gently used kids bike, we're really short in a size, a 16-inch bicycle or a 24-inch bicycle. It'll say it on the tire. I think we're probably still 100 to 125 bikes short to have a really successful event. Every bike
Oh.
past that, we're going to try and repair, and we're going to see if we can get that to other kids in needs, to that waiting list, to our tribal partners in town. In the state. And then the last way that
Mhm.
folks can help, if those two ways aren't attainable from right now, or if they're from the greater Idaho community, you can go to boisebicycleproject.org. We have all 650 dream bike drawings online. You can scroll through them. You can see the imaginative ones. You can see the ones that are so very specific. And you can sponsor that dream bike and you can help us cover the cost of the maintenance, of the parts, of the work, of the event, and help that event be really successful.
Okay, so I want to reiterate the gently used bikes you're really looking for and the size again, Devin.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking for gently used kids bikes. A 16-inch bike is what's most urgently needed right now. And that's a bike that usually fits like a 6-year-old. It's going to say it on the side of the tire. And then a 24-inch bike, which is sort of that tween bike between a full size and that 20-inch bike. And then it's hard to ask for help and be very specific. So we have people bringing bikes down and we'll take them. Sometimes it's a good problem to have, but we figure it out.
Okay. And again, because I didn't know you could check the tire and it'll tell you how big the bike is. So you can just look on that.
Yep.
Okay. Learn something new. So Devin, do you have a favorite dream bike story from like a past giveaway that really sticks out in your mind and really captures what this event means?
Yeah, actually, I think that we have a dream bike drawing that one of our staff members just pointed out to me today that we're going to work on today that really, for me, kind of tells the story. It's by a young person named Max. They drew a red bike with blue wheels. And in the story, they're really saying like, hey, I want this red bike. I want to go fast. I want to get out with my family and explore our city. That's all things that we deeply feel.
Mm.
And it also goes on to say, every time we go to Walmart together, I ask, can I get a bike? Say the time's not quite right.
Oh.
And so for us, like that really says it all. Like it's acknowledging what a bike can do, all the connection that it brings. It's also acknowledging that as a community, we can work to make sure that that's accessible together. And so for me, that's a really exciting thing. And it's going to be exciting on next Saturday when Max and their family come down and we get to see what happens when they get on that bike.
What does it feel like to make these, bicycles on paper a reality and then see these kiddos
Yeah.
when they see these bikes that they dreamed up for the first time?
I mean, it's an incredible feeling to be in that interaction. And I think, Gemma, what I might add is like, it is an incredible feeling to fix the bike, to see it dreamified, to get it out in the community. And we have all sorts of incredible volunteers. We have currently incarcerated women doing that. We have a huge spectrum of our community doing that. So for me, the other thing that's really incredible is like, I personally know how good of a feeling it is to kind of make that connection in community, but then to watch literally thousands and thousands of hands show up in this effort. If it's donating a bike, if it's fixing that bike, if it's repairing it, to make that one kid's dream a reality, that's an incredible thing. That's the thing that's hard to put words to, the way that feels.
So what do you hope that families and volunteers, take away from this year's event?
Yeah. I would say, first of all, for kids and families, I hope that they get that dream bike. I hope that they come down and they see that we are here to provide services, that there's a greater collection of partners that are here to support them, and that our community is in their corner. For our
And
community
Devin,
as a
before
whole, go
yeah,
ahead.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, I think for our community as a whole, I think it's a truly important year that we focus on coming together, on working in service of each other, and working in community, and seeing that that connection is what makes us so powerful. And so when people put aside their concern in themselves and show up for one another, I think that's addressing some of the issues that we're seeing. That's addressing some of the reasons we think we're seeing more families sign up. And that's a step in the right direction. So for our community as a whole, I hope we understand the power that comes when we come together and bottom up make change happen.
Before I let you go, but beyond the giveaway, which is such a big part of what you do, this time of year, how does the Boise Bicycle Project support the community year round? And I'm talking in terms of things like, education, advocacy,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
access, even, Devin.
Yeah. We distribute 3,500 bicycles a year to the community. Some of that's for free through our program side. Some of that's in gently used bikes in our shop side. We teach thousands of people educational opportunities how to fix their bike, maybe in our DIY shop, we have 60 plus community outreach programs where we ride into the community, help people fix their bikes when they can't make it to our shop. We run programs for incarcerated women, peer-led programs, where they help us teach safety courses and they fix bicycles. We run teen-led peer education programs. And then we also, to your point, we advocate for safe streets for all users. We have a community event called Open Streets Boise, where we close a street, invite people in to spur a conversation about what that feels like to be safe in a street. We support community members who have experienced loss from tragic pedestrian deaths and bicycle deaths, and we advocate at a local, city, state level for safer streets.
Well, Devin, I want to thank you so much for coming on and talking to us about this. We've been speaking with Devin McComas. He is the executive director of the Boise Bicycle Project, talking about their Holiday Kids bike giveaway. They still need some gently used bikes and volunteers and donations. The giveaway happens next Saturday, December 13th. And just this week, Boise Bicycle Project was chosen as one of Boise State Public Radio's Giving Tuesday winners for the inspiring work that they do in our community. And that'll do it for this episode of Idaho Matters. Thanks so much for listening. And just a reminder, you can find all of our episodes wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, I'm Peter Pruitt from Zoo Idaho.
And I'm Dr. Leif Tapinola with the Idaho Museum of Natural History.
Together we host The Nature of Idaho, a podcast all about how our state's amazing landscapes, wildlife, and geology shape life here in the Gem State.
Each week we dive into nature stories from across Idaho, everything from fossils to forests, and sometimes even a few fun facts you can share on your next hike.
So join us as we celebrate everything that makes wild Idaho special.
Listen to The Nature of Idaho from KISU, wherever you get your podcasts, or at KISU.org.